At DeLance Golf and True Fit Clubs, we believe that you're the engine that delivers the power to the golf club, but the shaft is truly the transmission. And if that transmission isn't right for you, you're not going to have a chance of hitting longer, straighter shots. We found over the years that all the manufacturers have a different way of measuring their parameters, whether it's flex or tip profile, torque, weight, and we didn't find a consistent way of measuring, so we developed our own. So we have our proprietary shaft profiling system that looks at things like tip profile in both the butt section, midsection. We also look at the tip section, see how stiff it is. We look at torque, we look at shaft weight, and we also look at balance point. Those are the key factors that are going to help us frequency match and build your clubs to the best performance for you. One of the things that we've noticed over the last 20-some years is golf shafts have changed dramatically in composition and structure, but one of the things that remains the same is that driver shafts typically are graphite, they're a little longer. Iron shafts are somewhat shorter and also can become in either graphite or steel. And then wedge shafts typically are steel, but we've seen a dramatic change in the last few years from both graphite overcoming steel in terms of weights and steel becoming lighter. But the key thing is to make sure that we understand the profile of each of these shafts and that we can fit exactly the right shaft to your swing. One of the key points in shaft profiling is determining the actual shaft force load being placed at 8 different points along the shaft. We start with the tip section where we measure 5 different points at different lengths. Then we measure 3 different points from the butt section. And another part of what we do is test the actual force load change from one section of the shaft to the other. You'll find that there's a high force load and a low force load, which helps us determine the flat line oscillation, which we'll discuss in a future segment. One of the key points of our shaft profiling system is the ability to visualize exactly what we're talking to our customers about. So for example, here the Ventus 6 is a very stiff butt section and stiff midsection shaft, also fairly stiff and firm down here, versus the Vista Pro 60, which is a little bit softer flex here, softer in the midsection and softer at the tip, designed for different players, different release characteristics, and different launch characteristics. One of the key points in a shaft is also the balance point. There are some new shafts out there now that are counterbalanced, which means that you can actually change swing weight by up to 3 points with a counterbalance shaft to accommodate heavier heads. So it's important that we know exactly what the counterbalance point is. One of the key points in actually building clubs is making sure that the shaft is oriented properly to deliver proper performance. Notice how this shaft is not oriented properly. It is actually oscillating quite a bit. So we're going to find that flat line oscillation and build the club with that point in mind. So every shaft and every club is built with a flat line oscillation towards the target. And the finished product, a perfectly built set of clubs to the exact parameters that we measured during the fitting. The proper flex, frequency match, proper swing weight, proper loft, proper lie, proper length, everything built to spec. Also notice that shaft alignment for proper optimization, shaft alignment, flat line oscillation for the driver, same thing for the hybrid and the rest of the clubs. This golfer is going to play better golf faster, guaranteed.